Hello, good morning. This is Kishore, working as a physics lecturer in Vignan College. So, in the last section, we are discussing the chapter Thermal Properties of Matter, and in this lesson, we already discussed the coefficient of linear expansion, coefficient of areal expansion, and also the coefficient of volume expansion. That is the three coefficients of expansion, and also the relation between them. So, in this session, we will discuss what are the applications of expansion of solids. So let us start the session. So see here the railway tracks. So in the construction of railway tracks, a small gap is left between two rails. So why? Because so in summer the railway tracks expand, and to allow the expansion in summer, a gap is left between two rails, and the gap that should be left between two rails must be equal to increase in length of the rails. So why a gap is left between two rails? Nothing but to allow the expansion in summer, and the gap that should be left between two rails must be equal to increase in length of the rails. So this is another application of expansion of solids. So in the manufacture of a cart wheel, that is bullock cart, the iron tire is made much smaller in diameter than the wooden wheel, and whenever this iron tire is heated, that is placed on the wooden wheel, and when this iron tire is cooled, it contracts and tightly grip the wooden wheel. So whenever this iron tire is heated, iron ring is heated, so it is expands and it can be easily placed on the wooden wheel. So whenever this iron tire is cooled, it contracts and it tightly grips the wooden wheel. So this is a construction of an iron cart wheel, or it is used in bullock cart. So this is also one of the applications of expansion of solids. So the iron tire is made much smaller in diameter. Whenever this iron tire is heated, it expands and it is placed on the wooden wheel. And this when iron tire is cooled, it tightly grips the wooden wheel. So let us see this video how this iron tire heated in this next video. So see this video. So this is the iron tire and this is the wooden wheel. So the iron tire must be placed on the wooden wheel. So this iron tire is heated, then it expands and it is placed on the wooden wheel. And whenever this iron tire is cooled by pouring some water on the wheel, so it is tightly grip the wooden wheel. So this is the construction of iron cart wheel. So the iron tire is made much smaller in diameter than the wooden wheel. So whenever the iron tire is heated, it expands and it is placed on the wooden wheel. And this when iron tire is cooled, it contracts and tightly grips the wooden wheel. So this is also one of the applications of expansion of solids. And the telephone wires are loosely connected. So why? Because to allow the contraction in winter. So telephone wires are loosely connected to allow the contraction in winter. Whereas the railway tracks are small is kept between the two rails because to allow the expansion in summer, whereas for the telephone wires they are loosely connected to allow the contraction in winter. So this is also one of the applications of expansion of solids. So next see the next application of expansion of solids. So bimetallic strip. So it is made up of two similar strips and made up of different metals riveted or connected together at several places in another bimetallic strip. So what is bimetallic strip? So it is made up of two similar strips having made up of different metals, and they are connected together at several places in the bimetallic strip. So bimetal is nothing but it is made up of two metals but made on two similar strips, and they are made up of two different metals connected together at several places in a bimetallic strip. So what happens whenever this bimetallic strip heated, and what happens whenever the bimetallic strip is cooled? So whenever the bimetallic strip is heated, it gets curved with more alpha value, that is more coefficient of linear expansion. That is here we are considering copper and steel. So copper will have more alpha value than the steel. That's why copper expands more than steel, and that's why copper will come onto the convex side because alpha of copper is more than alpha of steel. So whenever the bimetallic strip is heated, it gets curved with copper on the convex side because alpha of copper is more than alpha of steel. So bimetallic strip is made up of two similar strips made up of two different metals when they are riveted together at several places in the bimetallic strip. So whenever the bimetallic strip heated, it gets curved with more alpha value on the convex side, that is copper on the convex side because alpha of copper is more than alpha of steel. So what happens whenever the bimetallic strip is cooled? So when the bimetallic strip is cooled, it gets curved with more alpha value, that is copper on the concave side because alpha of copper is more than alpha of steel. Copper also contracts more than steel. So whenever it is heated, copper expands more than steel, but whenever it is cooled, copper contracts more than steel. That's why when the bimetallic strip is cooled, it gets curved with copper value on the concave side because alpha of copper is more than alpha of steel. And what is the use of this bimetallic strip? So this bimetallic strip which is connected in a circuit is called as thermostat, and thermostat works on the principle of bimetal strip, which is used in refrigerators, automatic electric heaters, fire alarms and incubators. Just we are watching in this video. So thermostat works on the principle of bimetal strip, which is used in refrigerators, automatic electric heaters, fire alarms and incubators. So this is the one of the applications of expansion of solids. So let us recap once again what is bimetal strip. So bimetal strip is nothing but it is made up of two similar strips made up of two different metals riveted together at several places is known as bimetal strip. So whenever the bimetal strip is heated, it gets curved with more alpha value on the convex side, because alpha of that metal is more than the another metal value. So whenever this bimetal strip is cooled, it gets curved with more alpha value on the concave side. And the thermostat, which is the principle of bimetal strip, and this is used in refrigerators, automatic electric heaters, fire alarms and incubators. So see this video so you can understand clearly what is bimetal strip. So here we are heating the bimetal strip. So whenever the bimetal strip is heated, it gets curved with more alpha value on the convex side, and the bimetal strip is cooled, it gets curved with more alpha value on the concave side. And this bimetal strip is used in electric iron boxes and refrigerators, automatic fire alarms. So this is one of the applications of expansion of solids. So these are the advantages of thermostat. So thermostat works on the principle of bimetal strip, and these are used in electric iron boxes, automatic fire alarms and refrigerators, etc., and also incubators. Now see the one more applications of expansion of solids. So we know the time period of simple pendulum is given by T is equal to 2.2 of L by G. This is expression for the time period of simple pendulum, and in this expression T is the time period of the pendulum and L is the length of the pendulum, G is the acceleration due to gravity. And we know since G is a constant, which is 9.8 meter per second square on the surface of the earth, so G is constant at a given place on the surface of the earth. So time period mainly depends upon the length of the pendulum, that is T proportional to root L. So what happens if we increase the temperature, that is in summer what happens to the time period, and in winter when the temperature decreases what happens to the time period? Let us see. So T proportional root L, the time period mainly depends upon the length of the pendulum. So in summer we know as the temperature increases, the length of the pendulum increases, so the time period also increases because T proportional root L, but the frequency of oscillation decreases since N is inversely proportional to time period. So here the time period increases, so frequency of oscillation decreases, so pendulum clock goes slow in summer. So in summer as the temperature increases, length of the pendulum increases, so time period also increases, but the frequency of oscillation decreases, so pendulum clocks go slow in summer. And coming to the winter, we know the temperature decreases, so the length of the pendulum decreases, so time period also decreases, but the frequency is inversely proportional to time period, so frequency of oscillation increases, so pendulum clocks go fast in winter. So in summer the pendulum clocks go slow in summer, whereas pendulum clocks go fast in winter. So this is the reason why pendulum clocks go slow in summer and fast in winter, because the time period mainly depends upon the length of the pendulum. Since in summer the temperature increases, the length increases, so time period also increases, and winter the temperature decreases, the length of the pendulum decreases, the time period also decreases. So pendulum clocks go slow in summer and fast in winter. Then what should we do? So without not to increase in summer and not to decrease in winter, so the pendulum clocks are made up of inverse tail. So because the alpha of inverse is almost 0, so it expands in summer, neither it expands in summer nor it contracts in winter. So it shows correct time in all temperatures, at all temperatures, in all seasons. So the pendulum clocks are made up of inverse tail because the coefficient of linear expansion of inverse tail is almost 0, that is made up of alloy. Inverse tail is nothing but an alloy. So that's why it shows correct time at all temperature in all seasons. That's why pendulum clocks are made up of inverse tail. Now we will derive the expression for the loss or gain of time period per day. So we know the formula for time period is given by T is equal to 2 pi into root of L by G. So here the time period only depends upon length of the pendulum because acceleration due to G is a constant. So T proportional to root L. So T2 by T1 is equal to root of L2 by L1. but we know L2 is equal to L1 into 1 plus alpha L into T. So this is from the expansion of solids. So where alpha L is the coefficient of linear expansion, L1 is the initial length and L2 is the final length, and T is the change in temperature. So instead of L2 we can write L1 into 1 plus alpha L into T. So T2 by T1 is equal to, so instead of L2 we are writing L1 into 1 plus alpha L into T divided by L1. So L1 will get cancelled, so it becomes 1 plus alpha L into T power 1 by 2, because the root can be taken up or written as 1 by 2. Now on expanding this we get 1 plus 1 by 2 alpha L into T. So we get higher terms like 1 by 4 alpha L square T square. So we are neglecting the higher terms. So because when compared with alpha L square and alpha cube are very small value, that's why we are neglecting the higher terms. Then we get T2 by T1 is equal to 1 plus half alpha L into T. Now subtract 1 on both sides, then we get T2 by T1 minus 1 is equal to 1 plus half alpha L into T minus 1. Minus 1. So here 1 get cancelled. So by taking LCM here it becomes T2 minus T1 by T1 is equal to half alpha L into T, and T2 minus T1 is equal to T1 into half alpha L into T. Here T1 is the time period and small t is the change in temperature, and we know per day the time period is 24 hours. So by converting 24 hours into seconds, so 24 hours is nothing but 24 into 60 into 60, so it is nothing but 86,400. So then this becomes equal to T2 minus T1 is equal to 86,400 into half alpha L into T. So by cancelling with 2 we get T2 minus T1 is equal to 43200 alpha L into T. So this is the expression for loss or gain of time period per day only, because we are taking here the time period as 24 hours. So per day the time is 24 hours. So this is the expression for loss or gain of time period per day. So T2 minus T1 is equal to 43200 alpha L into T. So we know already when it is loss and when it is gain. So in summer, so as the temperature increases, it glows slow in summer, so it is loss, and in winter as the temperature decreases, it is gain. So both for loss or gain of time period per day, the expression is same. So which is nothing but the loss or gain of time period per day is equal to 43200 alpha L into T. So in this expression, alpha L is the coefficient of linear expansion and T is the change in temperature. So this is the expression for loss or gain of time period per day, which is equal to 43200 alpha L into T. So this is the expression for loss or gain of time period per day. So this is most useful in the objective problem solving. So the expression for the loss or gain of time period is nothing but per day is nothing but 43200 alpha L into T. So like that, the pendulum clocks go slow in summer and fast in winter. So to avoid this, the pendulum clocks are made up of inverse tail. So whenever we are using the inverse tail, there is no expansion and contraction because it shows corrected time in all seasons at all temperatures. So student, in this session we learn about the different applications of expansion of solids. So we will meet again in the next section. After then, thank you. Have a great day.